Okay, again, have Shabbos, everyone. We're continuing our Hachaim share. We're up to Perek Shlishi. We're at the point that Klal Yisrael is at the Yam Suf. They seem to be stuck because there's a big river in front of them. Behind them is the Egyptian army. The Mitzrayim are coming towards them, and Klal Yisrael seems to be trapped with nowhere to go. And they start davening, especially Moshe Rabbeinu, they start davening to Hashem to save them. Now Hachaim points out that Hashem seems to tell Moshe Rabbeinu a very interesting thing. Why are you davening to me? Lama titzak elai. So Hachaim says, who else should Moshe Rabbeinu daven to? What else should they do? We always know when a person has a tzara, when a person has a problem, he has to daven. So what exactly, says Hachaim, is Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, Lama titzak elai? Furthermore, says Hachaim, it seems that Hashem did answer Moshe Rabbeinu when he tells him right after that, lift up your hands with your stick and go. So the question is, where should they go? Where are they going? There's a river, there's nowhere for them to go. So we know already what happened. But if you can understand that at that moment, Klal Yisrael, all they saw was this big river, this big mini sea in front of them, nowhere to go, and the Egyptian army is behind them. They thought they were finished. So the Hachaim is going to teach us a yisoid, a fundamental yisoid in Yiddishkeit, and this is one of the more classic, fundamental pieces of our Hachaim. All our Hachaim is Kodesh, and this is a classic, fundamental piece where our Hachaim is going to teach us how a person, when he's facing judgment, when there's a potential for judgment, how an individual can get out of it. We know, says the Hachaim, that in order to gain rachamim, in order to get rachamim from Hashem, we have to do ma'asim tovim. Right? Ma'asim tovim comes in all different forms. Could be learning Torah, could be doing chesed. Right? The more chesed we do for somebody, the more midah keneged midah Hashem does chesed with us. When we do chesed with somebody who we don't want to, who we feel doesn't deserve it, and we are maver al midosav, and we do chesed with them, as we learned many times, Hashem runs the world, midah keneged midah. The way you treat people, that's exactly the way Hashem's going to treat you. So if you are mavir amidosav, you say, you know what, I'm not going to ask any question, this individual needs help, I'm going to do chesed with him, I know this could be good for him, I know it could help him out, and Hashem's going to do the same thing. When a person has rachamim on somebody, right, then Hashem will have rachmanos on you. Now what happened was, now as Klal Yisrael was in this predicament, this terrible sorrow, Hashem wanted to help them. But the Midas Hadin, the Satan said, why should you help them? They don't deserve to be helped. Klal Yisrael doesn't deserve to be helped. Why not? Because just like the Egyptians served Avodah Zarah, Klal Yisrael also deserved Avodah Zarah. And the way Hashem runs the world, the Midas Hadin had a very good argument, had a very good taina, and they didn't know what to do. So Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, I need you to kaviyachol give me the ability to advocate for you. Davening, I already said I want to help you. So your tefillah for davening has already been answered. The problem is the prosecutor, right, is challenging what I want to do. So I need something that I can use when the prosecutor challenges my verdict, challenges what I want to pass judgment for you. I need to be able to show I'm within the rules of how I created the world. And therefore Hakadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, I need you to do a ma'asim tovim. I need you to do something to show that the midas harachmim has the koyach to do something. And we see from here many times that Hashem already determines a person davens and davens and davens or something. Right? And if Hashem determines that this is something good, and Hashem determines he wants to help the individual, but the Midas Adin says that this individual doesn't deserve it. So how can we how can we strengthen the tefillah? So this is the secret that our Hachaim teaches us. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, I want you to have emunah b'tachon in me, and go into the sea, even though the sea is a certain death. Hashem says, if you go into the sea and you have bitachon that I will save you, that bitachon will allow me to overcome the midas hadin. Many times we have to do a ma'asim tovim, right? We go to tzaddikim for brachas. They always say, okay, do this mitzvah, take upon yourself a zchus, right? Do something that Hashem can say to the midas hadin, this person is now deserving of what I want to give him. And Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, go into the sea. But how can I go into the sea? The sea is going to drown us. Hashem said, if you have bitachon in me, that bitachon will give me the ability to overcome the objections of the midas hadin, of the mekachigim, and I will save you. And that's exactly what happens. And if you look at the pasuk, Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Lama titzak elai, don't daven to me anymore. There's nothing, I have already agreed to your request. But now I need you, us kaviyachol, Klal Yisrael, to do a ma'asim tovim, and go into the sea and have bitachon that I will save you. And that's what Klal Yisrael did. We know the famous medrash that either one of the shvatim, Shevet Zvulun or Shevet Yehuda, they jumped into the sea. Nachshon ben Aminadav went into the sea until mamish the waters reached his nose, and he had bitachon that Hashem will save him. That bitachon is going to help him. We know this week there's a big Indian. The truth is the big Indian every day to say Parshat Amon. The Torah brings it down. The Tashbetz, who was a Talmud of the Maram Rottenberg, lived in Germany, right? Everybody knows the famous story. The Maram Rottenberg was arrested, and the Jewish community wanted to redeem him, to ransom him, and he refused to let them do it because he said, if you ransom me, tomorrow they'll kidnap someone, another Rav, and eventually he died in prison. And even after he died, they wouldn't let him be buried until a Yid paid a lot of money off to have him snuck out of jail, and he was buried at Kfur Yisrael. And the Tashbat says that someone who says Parshat Amon every day, that he will guarantee that he has parnasa. What lies over here? What exactly is going on here? And the Torah says that, so this is not a heebie-jeebie type of thing. The answer is when we learn and we read and we say Parshat Amon, slowly and little by little, we start to infuse ourselves that it's all from Hashem, and we're relying on Hashem, and ultimately we have bitachon and amun on Hashem. That schus, that ma'asim tovim, kaviyachol gives Hakadosh Baruch Hu the pieces of evidence or the information or the facts that he could use to help you and to challenge the midas hadin's objective. And we see from here the secret formula to get what we need is to increase our ma'asim tovim. The more chesed we do, the more chesed Hashem will do with us. The more we're maver al midosav, the more Hashem will be maver al midosav. The more racham we do with people, the more we forgive people, even if they don't deserve it, even if we were wronged, then Hashem will do the same. And moreover, when we daven, we always have to attach ma'asim tovim, mitzvahs, kabbalas, and the mitzvah Hashem will answer us, Hashem will help us, and we should be zeicher to see the ultimate Yeshua, the Bias HaMashiach. Have a wonderful Shabbos.